So, talking about coping mechanisms for stress, and today we're going to be talking about structured time management and how this can have a massive impact on your stress levels. So if you're stressed, keep on watching, keep on listening. Really you. 2 consecutive day, 1,432. A diary of a and so 1,032. Time management. Different health disorders, whether it's a kind of prescribed kind of illness, and we start with distinguish it all together. Much more, and that's what we're talking about. Time management. Late for something. By the great or be whatever it's stress, you innate kind of feeling of it might just bring yourself down. You can have to be somewhere and you haven't done, and that might be a little bit easier for you to kind of process. But if you're letting somebody else down, generally speaking, the feeling is you get stressed, angry, how negatively they're going to look upon your point of being late. I think that's really all the race for your mind. And kind of way to solve certain time, work backwards. 7, 8, 45 minutes, because you never know, there might be a slight delay. So at 6:15, you then normally takes you about half an hour to get showered again. Give it 45 minutes, just be on the safe side. You kind of take a bit longer. So on that basis, 6 is now. So you need to shower at 5:30. Work you need to get. It's going to take you an hour. So, okay, 5. That because it's an important piece of work. I'm going to give myself an extra 30 minutes. Myself a bit more time around that. So it's 3 o'clock now, but we're now at 3:30. So I've got half an hour. So maybe I might want to get a bite to eat now. If I eat now, because I might not be eating until much later. So if I'll eat now, get ready, then I'll jump in, then I'll work, then shower, and because you've reverse engineered the process, you're going to be of the situation rather than chasing time. It's far better managing time, chasing. Difficult to back up And quite often you'll make kind of impulsive decisions which aren't always the right ones, i.e. your speed in your car could result in an accident or a speeding ticket, or you'll be running, so you might cross the road and nearly have a trip over or something along those lines. So generally speaking, when you're chasing time, it never normally works in your favour. So yeah, that's ultimately how to get structured time management much better. The other thing you can do is time block. I've talked about the process here of time management and blocking out, just as we said, that's going to take half an hour, so we'll give ourselves a bit of buffer time. Buffer time is really important. So you know, in an ideal world, you might set an agenda and be bang on it. But the reality is something's going to happen throughout the day. Somebody could speak to you and it's going to knock your day back. So always create buffer time to allow for that. And time blocking is a super effective process because ultimately you are allocating a set amount of time for a given activity. And if you then put buffer time between each time block, it's a really good way for creating an agenda or schedule that you're likely to be able to stick to. The other thing is you need to be a bit flexible. Some days, you know what, something's going to happen, it's going to throw your whole plan out the window, and as long as that's the odd occasion, that's okay, that's acceptable, it happens. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. The other rule that I find incredibly useful when it comes to time management is however long you think something will take, either times it by 3. That's one way of looking at it. That's if you're really bad at time management, especially for big projects and things. That's not a bad rule of thumb, but at least give yourself an extra 33%, or an extra third of time. So if it's going to take you an hour, give yourself an hour and kind of 20 minutes to do it. It's giving you an extra 33%, an extra third of what you're predicting as a minimum. Worst case, times it by 3. So if you think it's going to take an hour, it might take you 3 hours. So somewhere in between those two kind of ranges will be where you find your sweet spot. But the reality is that we live in unrealistic expectations, and if we kind of govern ourselves by those unrealistic expectations, you'll miss deadlines, you'll miss time points, and it just creates that whole level of stress where you're just running behind. So yeah, learnings from my diary today is being late, but having poor kind of time management skills is notoriously bad for your stress levels. So the easy thing around it is there's a few techniques you can do to improve your time management. I've talked about reverse engineering. Start from when you need to be somewhere, reverse engineer your kind of pathway and timing backwards to where you are today at this moment in time. That's a really good way of kind of realistically how long it's going to take. Time block, so allocate an amount of time to whatever activity you're doing. Generally speaking, either add 33% of what you expect in terms of time it's going to take you to complete a task, add an extra 33% to give yourself that extra buffer, which is probably more realistic. I know certain people times whatever they think the amount of time it's going to take them to do something by 3, especially with big stuff, big projects. That's not a bad rule either. I've talked about buffer time and some of making sure that you don't back-to-back things, so that you've always got an element of kind of buffer flexibility, so if time things slip, really, really important. And yeah, occasionally your schedule's not going to go to plan, and that's okay as long as it's the odd occasion. But if you follow these rules, you'll greatly enhance your time management skills, and hopefully you'll greatly reduce your stress levels. Just going past them, guys, just bear with me a second. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for me today. Any questions or comments, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. Do remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run blogging on consecutive days, barefoot style, the distance of a lap of the world, give this, subscribe, share, like, comment. As the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise, and ultimately the more children's lives we save, which is the single reason I put myself through this every single day. Thank you as always, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.